We are back with This Just In, and we have a new edition of What the Hellerman. Let's read this tweet by my esteemed colleague and frenemy, Kendrick Perkins. Writing about the NBA's list of top 75 players of all time, Perkins tweeted, "Knicks fans, I know I was barely on your good side, but any list that has Patrick Ewing on it needs to make sure Dwight Howard's on it because ain't no way. Carry on." Okay, it is true that Dwight Howard was a top five-ish kind of player for something like a half dozen years. That is true. But Dwight Howard, to consider him at the same level of Patrick Ewing because his prime was a little more concentrated in the top five than Ewing's, who was probably more of a top 10 kind of guy in his prime, is not right. Patrick Ewing had a refined overall game that aged well. Until he really couldn't play anymore, he was still an all-star plus level player. Whereas Dwight Howard was exposed as a physical phenomenon. As soon as he lost that edge physically, he became just a guy. We welcome the author of that tweet, NBA analyst Kendrick Perkins, Big Perk. What the hell, Erman? Let me hear your Dwight Howard argument.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. Look, at the end of the day, when you look at the Dwight Howard resume, it's longer than the holiday weekend, okay? And when you talk about the Dwight Howard when he was in Orlando, right? When he was in Orlando dominating, when he took that team to the finals, when he won the Defensive Player of the Year award 3 times, okay? Led the league in rebounding 4 times. Averaged 20 and 10 almost his entire career. When you, people forget that Dwight Howard, and I feel like we take him for granted. I'm not discrediting Patrick Ewing. All I'm saying is that if you put their resume side by side and put their careers, it's similar. Both of them average around 20 points. Dwight Howard averaged around 4. Yes.
Yes, no. In Patrick Ewing's best years, but Patrick Ewing was 24, 27 points in his prime. He was the kind of low post player. He was the kind of low post player, Patrick Ewing, that you could run an offense through. That was not exactly Dwight Howard.
Okay, but Max, what did Patrick Ewing win? Tell me, what did he win?
He got to a Game 7 in the finals without another star on his team.
Okay, but does that count? Dwight Howard went to the finals as well. Just like how Patrick Ewing is in the all-time leaders in the New York Knicks franchise, it's the same with Dwight Howard with the Magic.
Are you comparing the Magic all-time list to the Knicks? I didn't know Walt Clyde Frazier played for the Orlando Magic. Perk.
All I'm saying is that you still have to get the job done. And look, Dwight Howard, the only person that was able to stop Dwight Howard in his prime, you sitting up here talking to him right now. Other than that, deep seals, snatching the screws out the rim, was straight dominant, man. I just can't believe you right now, Max. He's supposed to be on that list.
Look, Dwight Howard, if you want to make the argument that Dwight Howard in his era, which was much weaker for bigs, occupied a higher place than Patrick Ewing for a lot of his prime, I would agree with that. Dwight Howard's game does not translate as well across eras as Patrick Ewing's. Dwight Howard did not have as great a career when he started losing his physical edge because his skills were not as refined as Patrick Ewing's. Dwight Howard did not get as deep into a final as Patrick Ewing. Patrick Ewing came an Olajuwon fingertip on a John Starks 3 away from winning a championship. Got to a Game 7.
Max, when did he lose his physical edge? He's still jumping above the rim right now. Even for his career average, Max, is 18 points and 12 and a half rebounds. They're going to win in great fashion. And Russell Westbrook is going to play well tonight. That's what's going to happen. Look, the last time that the Lakers faced the Phoenix Suns in a meaningful game, they lost. Jay Crowder was doing the salsa, imitating Braun. They're going to win tonight, and Russell Westbrook is going to shut all the noise up because he's going to play well. That's what's going to happen tonight.
We have another great matchup tonight on ESPN as the Nets are visiting the Sixers. This matchup will clearly not feature Ben Simmons, as we reported earlier in the show, after he announced to the team he is not mentally prepared to play right now. Meanwhile, the Nets are without their star guard, Kyrie Irving, who is not with the team due to his vaccine status. Now, clearly, these are two transcendent talents and key pieces to their respective squads. Perk, my question for you is, which team is missing their star the most?
It's the Brooklyn Nets. Look, the Brooklyn Nets is championship or bust. They gave up everything to get James Harden. And it was supposed to be a plan in place where all three was supposed to be under contract opening night. And we saw what the Bucks did to them. They need Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the missing piece. You got to remember, they're so top-heavy that they don't really have a deep bench. They don't really have other guys to go to. So they need Kyrie Irving just for scoring alone and what he brings on the offensive end, Max.
Yeah, I totally agree. By the way, when you talk about the 75 in the NBA, right, and Kyrie's not on the list, but Damian Lillard is, other than shoot it from range, in terms of pure skills, Kyrie's better than Lillard. But everyone would rather have Lillard. Wait a minute. What I'm saying is, I would take Lillard. Most people would take Damian Lillard over Kyrie in spite of the fact that Kyrie's pure skills, his layup package, his handles, you probably take over Lillard's. Kyrie's got to ask himself why that is. You're absolutely right, Perk. Like the Nets, if all three of those guys are playing, I'm going to take them to blow out any team. Maybe not the Lakers if they're operating on all cylinders, but still I'd take the Nets to win that. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.